Hey everybody, this is Mr. Brooks, and today I'm going to help you with writing equations. This is for systems. Of course, you can write equations for any algebraic problems, and I know a lot of students really struggle with how do I set up the equation, or how do I get started, and word problems in general tend to give students a lot of trouble. A lot of times this is reading comprehension. They read it, they don't understand, they give up. If you don't read it, if you read it and you don't understand it the first time, reread it. Some of these you have to read a couple times, and the idea is you won't. The idea is if you read it till you understand it, then you will know what it's asking for. And then, eventually as you do these, you will see that there are patterns, and if you can find the patterns, then it definitely becomes easy. But like anything, learning an instrument or playing a sport, it takes practice. So always practice, never give up. Okay, so here are my rules for this worksheet problem set, and this really applies to just about everything. I'm going to add one at the end. The first one is every equation has an x and a y. So when you look at these, you want to think like, okay, I need two equations. I need two variables. And there's going to be an x in the equation, there's going to be a y in the equation, and these are the two things you don't know. I'm going to talk about it more, but what else? Find the total cost or set equal to. If you have this where it's asking about the total cost or two things are going to be equal to each other based on some number, then set the equation equal to y. It's just a really good practice that y is the answer, and so if you plug x in, if you plug a number into an equation, you're going to get y. Number 3, every sentence is its own equation. And yeah, sometimes they try to mix it up a little bit, but in general, 99% of the time, there's going to be at least two sentences giving information, and each sentence is its own equation. And anytime you deal with systems, you're going to have two equations. So you're going to have two equations, each with an x and a y. And the reason you have two equations is because you have two variables. If you have two variables, then you need two equations to solve. If you only had one variable, you can solve it with one equation. And then think about what it's asking for or what changes, like the number of toppings in pizza or the number of days that you add savings to, or the number of shirts you order, whatever it is, or what's not known when it says like how many of this will make this true or something. That's x, okay? So y is typically found with like cost or like the total, and x is typically what changes. And I'm going to add the fifth one, and that is you have to know that perimeter is equal to twice the length plus twice the width. And you should also carry with you from geometry that area is length times width. And this is the perimeter of a rectangle, obviously, right? So twice the length, twice the width, add up everything. So that's my rules I want you to go by. And again, if you don't understand it the first time you read it, then reread it. And it tells you at the top, this is a system of equations. The constraints unit for Algebra 2 is a system of equations. And so, you need two equations. And the first one's the perfect rule, where you have a large pizza and you know that the cost of the pizza is equal to, the size you get, and then add the number of toppings. You add a price per topping times the number of toppings. And so, we should know how to get the price of a pizza. The first sentence is the first equation, 680 plus 90 per topping, so 90 times x. And then the second sentence is the second equation, $7.30 plus 65 cents times x. And when it says cost the same, where will it cost the same? So you're really trying to find the cost, and that's y. So I've got y equals the first and y equals the second. It doesn't matter what order you write them in. And also you have to know, or you should know, that this x being the number of toppings and this y is the total, X is the number of toppings, and the Y is the total. The X and Y are the same for both of the equations, right? And that's why it works as a system. Number 2 is it replaces the X and Y, but it doesn't matter. You can write it as the X and Y. And, you're using the words 6 more, that's addition, 3 times, that's multiplication. So, you're supposed to multiply by 3 and add 6. And then where it says a total of 110 CDs over 2 weeks, you have to read that, and you have to read that as addition. If it says, we sold a total number of this, or the total amount of coins were, or whatever it is, you should read that, and you should think in your head that I'm adding 2 things together. Number 3 is the perimeter, and they give you the perimeter, so you have to use the perimeter formula. The perimeter is equal to twice the length plus twice the width. And in this case, it goes back to triple, so you have to be able to read the words and put it as symbols. So triple the width is 3 times the width. Again, that's what you need to know. And then, if over here, sometimes it helps to define your variables. X is the tacos and Y is the milk. It literally tells you the first sentence, a taco and a glass of milk is this. A taco and a glass of milk is this. And then 2 tacos and 3 glasses of milk is this. And so it literally walks you through the equation. So, but this takes practice, and so don't give up, okay?